community services. So tell us a little bit about maybe some other projects or some more vision or what else you have in mind as we get into the last segment of this program.
Definitely. So one of the other biggest projects, which were very well known for, alhamdulillah, was and continue to activate when things seem impossible, when things are really, really hard and no organization has systems in place. But we don't, we're not those organizations with the red tape. We take action if it's possible. If we can do it, we go ahead and we spring to action. So let me give you a little bit history on the 2020 when the pandemic happened. And Florida wasn't shut down for as long as other places, but around April 1st, the news was coming around that thousands of people are being turned away from food lines. And also at the same time, a whole bunch of food is going to waste, which otherwise would have been sold to hotels and restaurants. And we were thinking, we're like, there's a disconnect here. There's hungry people and there's food going to waste. So we just called up the farms and we're like, can we buy this from you at your cost so you don't lose money and it can go to people who need this. And they agreed. I called, everybody I knew from the masjid, all my friends, and they all wrote checks. The flyer went out on maybe a Friday. The event was on Saturday. I kid you not, an hour before the event, there was already 300 people in line. It was a crazy time. And this continued for 3 months. Every single week during Ramadan, 2 or 3 times a week, alhamdulillah, we were able to distribute 5,000 grocery packages. And it was, phenomenal how the community came together in collaboration with money groups, not just produce, meat, non-perishables, dairy, meals for kids, because schools were closed, so a lot of underprivileged kids were not getting that daily meal in school for free and reduced lunch. For the people who are facing homelessness, Project Downtown, unfortunately, that was the first time that they ever shut down, and because it was a health risk. So we said, we'll go out there, let's collaborate. You guys have the permits. We will go out there and we will help those people because nobody else is. Emergency help, and that's another big project of ours. Emergency support for people facing homelessness, and not just that time when they stopped during the pandemic. Recently, you were here in South Florida. The weather was 30 years historic low, and we were all thinking, we're like, it's cold for us. We're walking in and out to our car. We're feeling this cold. Imagine the people on the streets. And this was Friday, 9 p.m. that we get this flyer out to the community saying, we want to distribute blankets and other winter gear. Will you support us? And alhamdulillah, in a few hours, we were able to collect the money. We connected to a Palestinian brother who owns a warehouse of linen stuff. We borrowed a van from another uncle from the masjid. We make it happen, and we don't wait for anybody else to do it. And I was actually very surprised, because usually during the big holidays, Christmas, Easter, the American holidays, there's a lot of churches out there. But this weekend, it was so cold, we were the only ones out there. So when we were giving it out, subhanAllah, I was thinking, if we didn't think to do this, nobody would. Who will take the action if you don't do it? If you don't mobilize your community, and young people sprang to action. They were the ones meeting us, not just, we were like, okay, we can do it in Fort Lauderdale. Alhamdulillah, the community came so much together. We were able to distribute in 4 cities, in 3 counties, Fort Lauderdale, Pompano, Miami, West Palm Beach. We had donations come in because so it's like a domino effect, because they saw that, we can do this. Then another masjid gave some donations from Islamic Relief of winter hats, of gloves, of other things. So we were even able to serve 300 people facing homelessness, plus 200 new refugees who, are also, feeling this cold. We distributed different things to the group space, because obviously the refugees are in homes. We gave them winter kits as well as the houseless people winter kits and blankets and alhamdulillah, it Project Downtown, we collaborated with them. We continued again this past weekend. We did pillows and socks. This weekend, inshallah, we're going back there again. We that's part of 2023 goals. Actually, the West Palm Beach chapter of Project Downtown has been so active since 2021, so we want to help them reactivate that. We want to help all the South Florida chapters get more sponsors, get more volunteers, and not just collaboration, that Community Changemakers mission, but we want the general public to know about these organizations that exist, these food pantries. 2021, when we did it, the Ramadan, the year after the pandemic, when we did food distributions, $20,000 investment, we did it specifically to existing food pantries like IFSF, like Al Ansar, like Islamic School of Miami, so that we don't have to start from scratch. We can build on the communities and help them grow and help them get more. And so that's, I think, the biggest role of community change makers is to fill in the gaps of the government, of what our groups are not able to get yet, because we are able to mobilize quickly and efficiently and at a large scale. And that's what we're teaching our next generation, that no one is coming to save you. You have to save your own community. You have to help your own community, and you can do it. You young people, all ages volunteers. We have mothers come with their children. We have teenagers. We have college students, young professionals. Alhamdulillah, it's a great effort that's uniting people who might have not been united before.
One